time of the week again. Prepare yourself for the surveyors of sauce, the sultans of spaghetti, the whispers in your ears. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the What's Your Spaghetti Policy podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Jacob.
Full grown, like you're grown, right? Like you're not grown no more.
I guess so.
As a full grown adult male, age 34, my dogs have decided that now is time to do zoomies. As I'm trying to be serious with this question.
Okay, all right, you got it. Let's go. Get the serious pack. Okay, here we go.
When was the last time you looked at your own asshole?
You know,
Think about it.
That's a good question. I don't think that I've actually actively looked at my own asshole before.
You've never stood in front of the mirror, spread cheek, and been like, what's going on in there?
I don't think I have. When I think about it.
Like, you've never had a situation where you've had anal bleeding or something, or like you wipe too much, or like you're chafed, or like you've had massive diarrhea. Like you've like I'm saying like,
yeah, I had
there's
those
situations where you're
sure,
just like,
but...
and you've never thought to take a gander.
No,
You gotta know your body, bro. You gotta know your body.
I mean,
bro.
yeah, that's fine. It's all good and dandy. Nobody, but it's
How
like,
do you know?
it's just one of those things where
But I mean,
think I've had to like do it.
Go do it today. Go do it right now and tell me.
Okay, I'll be right back. Let me actually go hop on that real quick. I'm gonna be right back, guys. No, like I don't think it hasn't ever risen that I needed to. You know what I mean? So,
But don't you think that you need to? It's like every couple of years.
I mean,
Because it's like you see every other part of your body, right?
Yeah.
So like that's like the one part you don't see. I would argue you've seen your wife's asshole more than you've seen yours.
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, that's just natural, you know.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe like one time, two times. I don't know like when the last time it was though. I can't like recall off the top of my head. You know, it was like August 23rd, 2017 or something like that. You know,
This is why you need to take a journal every day.
what? Just so when I can remember when I looked at my own asshole.
Yeah.
That
Because
way
I mean,
can
you
sell
figure
it
like
as a book, you know.
because in like, I mean, when you start doing prostate exams? 45,
40 I think is when you're supposed to. So
I think you like start like 40 anywhere between like 40 and 45, right?
yeah.
So like, don't you feel sort of inclined to at least know the general area before you let a stranger start sticking his finger up there?
No, I think he's got it, dude. You know, or she, whoever it is, really. If you got girl doctor, guy doctor.
How do you
doesn't matter.
feel about that?
Don't care either way, dude. Their doctor's a doctor.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It's like
They put you to sleep when they do that, right?
No. Whenever you get they do the whole prostate exam, no, you're awake. It's a colonoscopy you go to sleep for most of the time.
That's it. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
I mean, it's one of those things, man. Like, as long as you stay clean, you should be aware that you're clean down there. You know what I mean? But then it's like, should I look at my asshole every time I go to the bathroom to make sure that I'm clean?
No, I don't
You
think.
know?
I don't think it's that much. And like, I'm not. I like again, like once every 10 years is what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, it's one of those things where like you feel your own asshole every day, right? Whenever you go to poop. So it's like, as long as there's nothing.
Well, when you wash your ass too.
Yeah, that too. And so I mean, it's one of those things where like if you feel something weird, then yeah, check it out.
But just because you feel something doesn't mean you know what it looks like.
But I mean, yeah, it does. Like, you know, like if you feel your own asshole there for 30 years, you know, you'd think
You
you'd think
what
you
I'm
have a
saying
good idea of like the
is
surrounding, you know.
You need, you take for granted that you have sight. So like, there's people around here.
It's
There's,
my own
there's
asshole.
people that
It's like,
there's people that don't get to see their own butthole. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, it's
'Cause they're
it's
blind.
like it's my ass, you know. It's like I'm not like jumping at the bit to look at my asshole, you know what I mean? Like I don't have an issue with my asshole. It's just like there's not a particular reason that I need to go down there searching around make sure it's all right, you know. I don't have to know everything, you know.
I mean, you need to know your
When's
body.
the last time you looked at the bottom of your feet, you know?
Oh, every day, probably.
That's weird, you know.
I go barefooted more than you do.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't like you're not like
have,
looking
dude,
at the
like, it's so
palms
weird.
of your feet, right?
I saw one of those like things. It's like, are you this or that neurodivergent? And it was just like, are you uh someone who doesn't wear socks because you don't like the way they feel neurodivergent, or are you somebody who hates going barefooted in your own house because you pick up the weird strands of like particulate neurodivergent? And I'm like, fuck,
That's
both.
everybody's neurodivergent according to
Like
those
both, like both, because like
surveys. But I like the way that socks feel.
I don't.
I love the way that socks feel, but
My
I also
daughter,
like.
my daughter, like she went through a phase when she was a kindergartner
Mhm.
into like a little bit last year. I mean, full blown meltdown before she went to school. Like we had to turn her socks inside out. She didn't like the things like the sew line at the end.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
like,
I'll give her that. Those are dumb. We need to get rid of those. I don't know how we're
dude,
2025 and we still have toe like the inside of the socks still have those fucking
I mean, how
hard
are you
ass.
supposed to? I mean, how are you supposed to make them? Like, you gotta sew them together.
Make it at a elastic band. We need to do something new
That's
with
even
socks.
worse.
Yeah, you need to have like trash bag, but for your foot. You just slide your foot inside.
Well, you can just wear sandals, man.
Yeah, but I can't run in sandals.
Fair.
You know,
Fair.
and
No, that's fair.
these socks these days, man, they fucking tear at my feet.
You could also
man.
just not run and be fine.
Look. Whenever the apocalypse happens and you're sitting at your house and you
I'm
can't
dead, dude. I'm screwed, bro.
you can't get the medicine, you know, for your family in the zombie apocalypse, and I come running in after sprinting 2 days in a row, 24 miles a day, you
Sure.
know, and bring it to you. You're welcome, by the way. You
Sure.
know,
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm just training. I'm training for
I'll
the
I'll
future.
plot. I'll be on the headset for you, and I'll plot your run line.
That's what I'm saying,
I'll-
man. Because I think truly, like, there is this weird part of my brain that's like, yeah, the apocalypse ever does come. That's my job. I'm gonna be the runner. You know, I'm gonna be the guy that like sprints from destination to destination.
Yeah, you're doing the grunt work.
Yeah, and I'm like, not the grunt work. It's very important work, sir. Okay, what I do for this militia. All right, we don't have
In
plans.
this future
Yeah.
hypothetical situation,
Our battle plans don't get spread and dispersed throughout the regime if I don't
Oh, so we
sprint.
don't have cell phones.
No, dude. They've okay.
They've EMP'd it.
The apocalypse happens, right? And we're fighting the fucking government. You think we're gonna be able to use our cell phones? They're tracking this shit with the NSA already. No, it's gonna be bird
Dude,
and
that's fake
pigeon.
news, bro.
It's
The
gonna
government doesn't track you. Okay, that's only China.
It's gonna be pigeons with messages attached to them, or guys like me who sprint 100 miles a day to get those messages and
Yeah,
battle
but
plans
okay.
out.
But here's the problem. You're not going to do that because you're not going to go away from your family.
I mean, they'll understand. You know,
No, they won't. You will not.
I'll sprint with them. They'll have to be. I'll have both my
You
kids on my
will not.
back. And
This is where your hypotheticals fall out because
no, I
like,
would do. I
you
mean,
don't-
it's one of those things. If I had to do it, you know, they'd
who,
understand.
why do you? You're not. We've already established that you will play both sides.
But then again, I have to be the farmer too, because I got to grow the food and stuff like that, you know, and I got to build stuff. I've got a lot of jobs in this apocalypse, man. And honestly, you're bringing me down with all this talk about like poking holes in my shit. So I'm gonna have to, you know, I'm gonna have to put
Maybe
your
you
name
need
in
to
the
look
hat.
at your own asshole more.
And then we're gonna have to like have this whole hat system where every month to kind of
Dude, that was
call the people, we're gonna have to like draw a name out of the hat, and that person gets exiled. It's like, sorry, buddy, you know, we don't have enough mouths to feed. We have too many mouths to feed, rather, and it's, you know, and then like everything that you have, like every point that you get against you, you get an extra name in the hat, and then it's like, so your odds go up for getting ejected. So you got to be nice, but then it's like, you know, there's a power trip happening inside the camp, and then like, you know, people like are just writing in names all willy nilly, and then there's a whole like riot and uprising in the camp.
you trade in,
Ugh.
you know, 5 food for 5 credits.
Yeah, and then we've got people paying to be out of the hat, and it's already exhausting, man. I just don't want to be about it.
Are you? Yeah, right. It's almost like we are. No matter the situation or the post-apocalyptic future, everyone's scheming.
Ultimate
It's
power. No, wait, no. Absolute power
power
corrupts.
corrupts absolutely.
Yep.
Yes, but the thing is like everyone will try to get an edge, and not like that edge. Maybe they're doing that edge too, but like
Hey.
it's more so that like everyone's going to do what they can. They're going to sell out their neighbor to get ahead because that's called survival.
I mean, that's the
Right.
thing, man. Is I don't think it's survival. I think that human beings are flawed, and it's
Oh,
hey,
dude,
we're
100%.
gonna bring it back around to this theory that I've had a long time now on the pod is that like we don't need a solution to everyday problems. We need a solution to humanity, and that solution is like letting humanity die out so another species can take over and give it their shot. You know, and I'm saying it's a very humble. What is that word I'm looking for? It's the word where it's like we just need to be better people and just let this happen. Let the humanity die out. Let something happen where it just wipes out all of humanity, not some of humanity, not like these people over here. Like, no, all of humanity. Just get it out of the way. Sorry, I've been talking too much already. Just because even 100 years from now, right? Humans are still around. They've figured it out. There's still going to be problems. We're still going to find some way to F it up.
There were still problems from the beginning.
Exactly. And it's humans.
But
humans are the
but nothing. Yeah,
Ultron had it right, man. Okay?
Ultron had his flaws too.
Yeah. But he accepted it. He understood what the problem was, and it was
I think you can accept your flaws. It doesn't mean you need to be eradicated.
We've had how many hundreds of thousands of years now?
So we have to take responsibility for everything that happened before.
Unfortunately, buddy, we have to be better than our ancestors.
I would argue that we are. You're saying that you're not better than your ancestors? I highly doubt that.
I don't know who my ancestors are, honestly. I don't even know where I'm from at this point. Am I from Ireland?
You're from America, boy.
Did my meemaw and papaw back in the day, like, where were they from? You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, I don't even know who my ancestors are, honestly. So,
well, I mean,
I'm not doing.
Do you think you're a better person now than you were 10 years ago?
I guess so. I'd say
you
a little
guess
bit.
so, or you know so.
I would argue probably a little bit so, at least.
Right, and like isn't that the goal?
Yeah, but it's just like, the other people in society.
Well, the problem is that the bad eggs are the ones in charge.
Yeah, and it's like you could eradicate those but those bag eggs, you can eradicate them too. But you can eradicate those bad eggs. Give it 100 years, they'll be right back there. The bad eggs will always find a way back. Dude.
It's inevitable, yes, because just again, we're just like going in a circle.
So it's like why are we Ouroboros in it? You know what I mean? Like, why are we eating our own tail, dude? Why don't we just fucking cut the head off the serpent, aka, I'm just saying,
aka,
So I'm just saying, man. Let dolphins take over. Who knows? Let polar bears take over. Hell, let the polar bears, let the penguins take over. Like, let them do their own thing, and you'll see that they'll eventually get to where we were, and it'll be like, again, Ouroboros. It'll just be like.
That's why it's survivable.
You selling out your neighbors for survival, though?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Ugh, that's harsh. Damn.
I don't fucking.
Damn.
They do the same to me.
That's true. But then it's like, where does it stop?
Would I sell you out? No.
I just mind my own fucking business in the apocalypse, honestly.
I try. Like, listen, dude, like, there's, we're not going to get into it, but let me move this down a little bit.
Okay.
But, like, our neighborhood's a little divided these days. Much like the country. And,
shocker. That's weird. Is there something going on in the country?
We don't actively, like, promote or hide how we feel about things, but there are others that do.
Yeah.
They actively are like, and it's everybody's right. Whatever,
I've been in a neighborhood. I see the signs, the flags, so, and I like a lot of the flags they got for some of the houses.
But like, I think like if it came to like some sort of civil war, like we're Denmark, we're Switzerland.
You're like what? So you're like in the middle. You're like,
I think that most people would perceive us because even though we're friends with certain people.
Yeah.
I just like get the feeling that like, again, we mind our own business. We're we don't actively provoke, and we're just here. So like, I feel like if there was some sort of internal civil war in this neighborhood, like I think we would be accepted on both sides.
That's why like ultimately
until again, and that's until push comes to shove,
yeah,
and then like questions start getting asked, and they're like,
wait a second. Yeah.
I'm already in too deep.
Oh no, I was playing both sides, so I can come out on top.
I'm not saying that I would play both sides. I'm saying that I think the perception is that
I'd be a double agent. Ooh, that'd be spooky, But then again, I don't want to endanger my family anyway. That's the thing. Like, I just like mind my own fucking business. Like, the apocalypse happens, it's just like fuck off.
Do you mean that like minding your own business is like something you should just do?
Everybody should just mind their own fucking business. Yeah.
Oh my god, what a crazy concept!
I know it's controversial take here. Everybody just mind your own fucking business.
Dude, it's crazy.
You see two people kissing, how about you just shut the fuck up and leave them alone? You see, I mean, arguably they should be kissing in a place that's like not out in the open. But then again, it's like, who gives a fuck? Like people kiss, people fuck. I don't give a shit. Don't do it to kids,
And there's that, but also
Don't
like
force it on people. Hell, and you win. All right, as long as it's two consenting adults, fucking go at it, dude.
you're getting into a very murky gray area about like consent and forcing stuff on people and
I would
agendas
argue
and
consent is very important. Being of
sure.
age is very
Yeah, but
important.
this depends on who you ask what is considered.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just
Again,
fucking, just
mind
mind
your
your
own
own
fucking
fucking
business.
business. Yeah.
But yes, but then to on the flip side of that, you can take it too far and be so ignorant to stuff when you need to be at least somewhat aware. Like, you
Hey,
know,
if it's not affecting me or my family,
yeah,
I
but
don't want
like
to know.
you need
Leave
to
me
be
alone.
aware again, like head on a fucking swivel, like me. Like you need to know if there's somebody in your fucking neighborhood you've never seen before that's jogging at 9 o'clock at night. Like, who the fuck are you and why are you here?
I would also argue that
I'm not saying that you can be
mind
here,
your own
but
fucking
like that.
business, like, because it's like
No,
they're probably just
no, no,
jogging. Like,
no. Go fuck you. Like that is my business. You're in my fucking neighborhood at 9 o'clock. I've never seen you before. Go fucking jog during the day.
I mean, that's it. What if he just got off of work? He doesn't have time to jog during the day. He's up. He's fucking up. He's on third shift. You know.
You're missing the point. I'm not saying that.
I
It's
think
just
we're
that
drawing conclusions about a person who's jogging in the middle of the
no, it
night.
becomes my business because it's at nighttime.
But yeah, but I mean, if you could do things at night, you're allowed to do things at night. You know.
I
See, you're the reason I don't go jogging around at nighttime because I don't want to get shot because somebody thinks I'm looting. You know.
you're automatically like going to violence, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that is one of those situations where it's not just don't just mind your own business. You need to be acutely aware of shit that happens in and around the vicinity of your fucking house. That's negligence if you don't.
I mean, somebody comes jogging past my house at 9 o'clock at night. I'm not immediately gonna assume that like something nefarious is happening. I'm be like, hey, he's jogging at
No.
night. Just make sure your
Right.
doors are locked. You know, I don't know. Like,
Okay. It can end there, but you're saying mind your own, but you're not minding your own business at this point.
I am if all my shit's locked. I'm not minding my business if I forget to lock the car. You know, I'm gonna make sure that I like check the camera or whatever.
Dude,
But
there's still I cannot believe that there's people that still don't lock their car.
I used to not to
In your I could get it
because
if
like,
you're
I
in
don't
a
have anything
garage.
in my car that like worth taking. You know. Or it's like those
Yeah, but-
people, or there's like people who have the soft top Jeeps and they're just like they leave it unlocked because it's like they would rather them not carve the top of the Jeep open to get into it. So there's that. But yeah, it's weird if you like don't want. I get terrified if like even like one of our doors is left unlocked at nighttime. You know, so
Yeah, I mean, well, back in my day, we used to be able to sleep with the doors unlocked. Why would you?
I mean, honestly like it was a different time back then. Like,
Yeah, but why would you? I'd argue it was the same amount of fucking danger back then than it is now. It's just now you have more access to that information and things
low
are
key, it's
more
probably
easily tracked.
worse. Like, because I think violence and crime and stuff like that was like way higher back in the day. But you know, I don't know. I don't have the statistics in front of me, but
Right, but it's kind of like my point is like, well, now was it safer in neighborhoods? I don't know, maybe, you know, I don't know.
I'm just
I just
saying. I don't.
I refute this idea that like everything was so fucking great 30, 40 years ago. Like, yes, you and I, we could fuck off and go play in the neighborhood and we didn't have fun. I understand, but like
Kids were still getting taken, you know.
absolutely, that's
Yeah.
my point. Like it was
Yeah.
still happening,
Like kidnapping still happened.
like all the fucking time.
yeah, we were just ugly kids, and they didn't take us.
But no, but like the thing was is like the whole thing for us was don't go anywhere alone.
yeah,
I mean, I had
that's-
that. That was my rule. Whatever you do, hey, you can fuck around the neighborhood. I mean, I lit a goddamn creek on fire, but I wasn't alone.
so
You know what I'm
crazy you
saying?
lit the whole creek on fire, but whatever.
And so it's like that. It's just, we're in that spell, man. Like I don't know where you guys are with like Quinn and stuff, but like we're sort of like, hey, she's got a watch, and she can call us from that watch and message us, and it's like, all right, go down the street and go to your friend's house, see if she's home. But like she knows. We're also just trying to teach her like phone etiquette. We're trying to teach her, and that's a whole thing too. Like
Yeah,
it's just crazy trying to like I'm sure that someone taught us that, but like
pretty sure we
I
just learned
see
that
it,
shit on our own. But
there's that, but she'll call somebody. I'm going on a diatribe,
Okay,
but
no,
like
you're good,
she
you're
goes down the street and like she knows she has to call us. Whether regardless if they're there or not, because like we need to be aware, okay, they're home, you're playing, okay, we know you're safe.
yeah,
If you're not, you have about 5 minutes to get up the fucking hill.
Mm.
You know, I'm gonna be on the lookout for you. But it's sort of like a building of trust. Like, hey, you know, and like if I have to call you,
Yeah.
you know, you're coming home, sort of. But like, she'll FaceTime like her friends and stuff. They all have iPads and shit, and she'll just call, and she'll hit the call button, and she'll sit there for fucking 3 minutes, and it'll just ring.
Oh,
I was like, and she's like, I'm waiting for him to answer. I'm like, hang the fuck up,
they didn't answer the first 2 minutes. It's like,
like
yeah,
because it doesn't cut off.
that's weird that it doesn't like go to the voicemail or something like that, you know?
I guess I don't know, but it's like, and then she'll hang up and then call her up. I'm like, no, we don't do
Oh
that.
yeah, no, it's
Like you don't do that.
they didn't answer.
But I need, and I was like, they'll call you back, or they won't.
Yeah.
It's fine regardless. And just because somebody calls you doesn't mean you got to drop everything you're doing to go answer that.
Oh,
And then they'll
man.
talk to each other. I'm sorry, I'm boring you.
No, you're fine. I'm tired.
And then
I'm just tired
they'll
today.
talk to each other, and they'll like not look at each other and not speak to each other.
It's just
They'll
like a
be-
hangout. They're just hanging out
They're just
in
like,
the same room.
and they're just, yeah.
yeah. I get it, you know?
Which I mean, I get that, but
It's also
they'll
weird.
call.
You know?
Yeah, but I mean, she'll call to want to talk and then not talk.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that's the same thing that Oliver does, where he'll be like, call so and so, my mom or my dad or Shelby's mom or Shelby's dad or whatever, and she'll be like, okay. She calls him, he'll be like, and then run off. Like okay, cool, yeah, thanks. That was a great conversation.
And then now you're stuck talking to him.
Yeah, and then exactly, and then it's like, how's it going? You know, what's up?
Yeah.
Got a lot going on today. I gotta go. You know, bye. You know,
Yeah.
But it's y'all kids. You know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, the astronauts are back.
Hell yeah, dude! Congrats. I guess I don't know, dude. Is it good that they're back or bad? I don't know, but they were stuck for
Well, I
almost a
mean-
year.
Something like that. We had talked about it.
Was it SpaceX that got them stranded? I don't
No, I
remember.
think it was
who.
SpaceX that saved them, right?
I thought it was SpaceX.
And like
I thought
dude,
it
the
was
whole
SpaceX.
annoying thing is like all that shit was televised, and then I've got people telling me, people who, you know, and
What?
then,
That he's like great or whatever.
yeah,
Because he saved them. It's like
yeah,
I'm pretty
and then
sure
it's
that
like,
they were stuck there
and it's
because of
like-
him.
huh?
I'm pretty sure that they were. After repeatedly trying to bring them back on the 19th of March, both astronauts successfully re-entered Earth's gravity aboard a SpaceX Dragon capsule. Okay,
Yeah,
but I don't know whose fault it was. I know, like maybe not fault is not the right answer, or right word, but
regardless, they're back.
Yeah,
It was an
they're
update
back.
to a story, right? It was an update to a story. It's fine. Okay, like we're tying up loose ends here.
oh yeah.
You know, because it's
I mean,
all
they
over
were
after next week.
astronauts from NASA, so I don't know. I vaguely remember like him being the reason they were up there. But anyways, whatever. Okay, cool. They're back. Also, small update. You remember the Colorado mortuary couple, right?
I do, in fact. Yes.
Yeah. So they did in fact plead guilty to 191 counts of abuse of a corpse, and 2 of those which were counts that the corpses were the wrong persons buried. So super sick, really neat. They have not been sentenced. Sentencing is so weird, man. The whole thing's kicked off in like 2021, I think is when they were arrested.
I know, but we didn't talk about it. We talked about it afterwards, right?
Yeah, it was like 2022 or something, 2023 when they got
like
like
it was 23.
publicized or whatever. 2023 when they got publicized, and then they pleaded guilty like in November 2024, and then now they don't get sentenced until April 18th of this year. So we'll keep it a shout out for that episode because I'll tell you what the sentencing was.
No, dude, it's over after next week, bro.
What's next week? April Fool's Day. That's right.
300.
Oh, that's right. It's right. We're ending it after that episode. I forgot about that. So
I mean, it lines up almost so perfectly.
to April Fool's Day, man.
Yeah.
I hate
also-
April Fool's Day, man. It's such a fucking stupid ass goddamn day of the year.
It's
I
not
don't
fun
know.
anymore,
It's-
especially because of the current age of time we live in. It's just like everything's a lie.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. We record. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That's fucking hilarious. Look out for that April Fool's joke that's gonna
Dude,
come right down the pipeline.
It's almost April.
It's crazy.
I feel like last week we talked about how fast February was.
Yeah, and somehow somehow it's almost April and it still feels like we've been in this hellscape for 4 fucking years already. It's insane to me. Anyways, but it's not about that, man. It's about these Colorado couple and fucking. But anyways, April Fool's Day, stupid as shit. You can't believe anything that day. Anything that comes out about video games, TV shows, announcements, anything your family tells you, it's all a fucking lie. It's all for the bit, you know.
Speaking of TV shows,
Okay.
and we had sort of talked about it a couple days ago, but I mean, I don't think it's any surprise that I love The Last of Us, the video game.
Yeah,
It's fucking great.
it's a good game.
Love it. Adore it.
Yeah.
I like the second game. I know that it was very controversial for a lot of reasons. I liked it. I love the first one. I like the second one. We talked about it on this podcast when the show came out. Thought the first 2 episodes were really good, and then the whole thing fucking went down fast. And
Yeah.
I was not. I thought overall, as a thing on its own, it was simply okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Not
But
good, not
it's
bad.
hard.
It's not. It's existed.
I think it leans more towards the like,
Yeah.
like you started off so strong with those first 2 episodes and then like derail all momentum and focus on thing that is like not relevant whatsoever. And then like you just never recapture it. And for a show that is, again, their zombies are super unique with the
Yeah.
cordyceps and all, and even the clickers and everything else. Like it's very unique. And for a show that's like predicated around fucking zombies, it like
And
went
zombie
out of its
survival,
way.
yeah.
Well, it like went out of its way to like not have any. Like
Yeah.
there's like one scene with a clicker, in the museum, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
like the one like weird, like full blown like war, and it's like this is kind of out of nowhere, and that was it.
Yeah, they really.
know?
Yeah, when I started thinking when I start to think back on it, there was a surprising lack of anything zombie related. It was more about, and like, for what it's worth, okay, sure, they wanted to tell more about the human side of the story, but
But they didn't do a good job with that either.
yeah, and it's like the whole fucking the game. The reason it's so good is because the story's great. Sure, the bond and the relationship between Ellie and Joel or whatever is great, but it's like the fucking interactions with zombies and like how high stakes and shit it is, and like
Right.
it's so to not include like one of the big portions of the video game in the show, it kind of like just kind of falls flat on its face, you know. But
And it's like it was like a speed run, and like whatever. Like it was not a review for it, but like the second season comes out in like 3 weeks,
I just
and
don't
I
care.
have no fucking desire whatsoever. Like I don't care.
Like
I don't know if I'm getting
Pedro
older.
Pascal is like great. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
But I'm getting fatigued on that guy too.
he's been everywhere. He's great. I get it. He's the daddy of America. It's awesome.
He's a great dude and like seems like a genuinely cool guy, but like he's everywhere. Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But like I just I kind of just I'm just like okay, like I'll like watch it, but like I'm not gonna like watch it each week.
Yeah, I just think we're past that primetime television. And we probably talked about it in the pod too before, but it doesn't feel like we are anywhere close to being.
I don't think we'll ever, as a society, ever reach Game of Thrones levels, appointment television week to week,
Yeah.
where the majority of people are watching a thing
And
and
you
then
wanna
coming
know-
to work the next day and talking about it.
You don't know what kind of causes all that.
Well, we don't go to the office.
Well, no, the oversaturation of the streaming market. So, and like the fact
That
that like,
too, but also maybe the quality of shows.
I mean that too, but I mean, I would argue that like everybody's watching a different platform, a different fucking streaming
Well-
service, and it's like there's no actual cable television to publish like one episode of it. And even if like Netflix was like every Wednesday new episode, like nobody gives a shit because it's fucking
Well,
Netflix.
Disney does
It's
that,
not
right?
like they do like with their shows or whatever. They'll be like, oh, every Wednesday there's this episode, this next episode, and it's like there's just not that feeling of having that, like you said, appointment television where I had to tune in to see what it's on because it drops on 12 a.m. and you go and watch the episode, and like nobody's
Never tried to
glued to
watch
the TV
Game
at
of Thrones
8
on
p.m.
like HBO Go, and it was just crash.
Yeah,
Crash.
that fucking sucked. Because
Um,
I remember the season finale or whatever, or the episode or two before the season finale, where you're like fucking everybody's like bombs are being dropped as far as knowledge goes on the and
yeah,
lore and shit like that, and it's fucking crashing. I can't
yeah.
load the episode. I'm freaking out. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Who is
Like,
Jon Snow mother? Who's her mother?
yeah.
You know, freaking out and shit like that. So
But it's also funny too because it's like you want those things to exist, but then on the flip side, so I on go back 2.5 years ago, and when I watched Severance, and I loved it, dude. I was like, this is amazing. Like this fucking show rules
I need to. I've been
ass.
wanting to check it out, but I don't have anything. I don't
But
have Apple
season
Plus.
two, and good for them because there was an article that came out that said like Apple is losing like $1 billion a year on Apple
TV,
Plus TV
yeah.
shows or something like that. And it's like, okay, cool. But Severance 2 has like taken it to like an annoying level now. Like now, yeah, you get on Blue Sky and there's just fucking fan art everywhere, and I'm like, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed.
It's become too popular.
Yeah, honestly, yes. Like
It's
that's
so
the thing.
funny.
It's like now it's annoying because it was this really cool thing that was like really niche and like oh like if because it
This
puts
show
off
is
hella
fucking
control.
weird. Yeah.
It puts off hella control vibes and shit. Very Remedy esque, and then like now it's went full circle where there's a lot more people that watches it or that watched season 2, and now you have these people that are like, well, this season kind of sucks anyways. Like this show's kind of like over, and it's like, oh, now we got these people, and now we got these people in the mix, right?
Yeah.
And it's just hit that point, and I'm just like, oh, this is
I
so
want to
dumb.
check it out because I've heard good
It's
things
fucking
about it. I
great.
know it's like the premise is that they
Have I
don't.
ever steered you wrong?
No, and that's the thing. It's like that's why I want to watch it. But it's like I know the premise is like they all work in this place and they don't know what they do, and then every time they leave, they get their memories wiped. Right?
No, no.
I thought they get their memories wiped every time.
They are severed, right? They are severed. So when they live in the real world,
Yeah.
they are one person, and when they go down the elevator, they're a different person.
Damn.
So they're two different people, same person, same body, but like
Severance.
the people on the top don't know what the people down low do.
Well, how do you think
And
you would
so
feel about that? If you had like a secret life, if you had to share a body. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a good hypothetical. Okay, hypothetical situation here. Okay. Here we go. You,
I think you would be enthralled with Severance, by the way.
I want to check it out. I'm gonna go watch it somewhere. I'm gonna go stream it illegally somewhere. But okay.
I mean, I'd give you my Apple account.
Hypothetical. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that. But we'll talk about that later. Go ahead and give it to on the podcast. So like, you wanna go ahead and tell you the password and everything?
I didn't say that. What are you talking about? Edit that out.
Yeah, I'll cut it out. Cut that. Yeah. Hypothetical. Here we go. You get to live. Well, I don't know. I don't like having like an infinite life. Immortality. That's the word I'm looking for. Having immortality, like, I feel like would get boring. So I want to say you live like an elf, right? You age like an elf, but you have the condition where it's like I don't know how you would do it. Like, would you do 6 months? You're you. 6 months you're the other person, or like at the daytime you're you, at nighttime you're other person. Like, so you have to share your body with another person, but you get to live the lifespan of an elf. So like, let's say like 1,000 years or so.
Nah.
Not doing it. What would you give up? Like if to make the deal like suit you, like what do you think would like sweeten the deal? Like would you like give up your nights, give up your days, give up a month or two at a time? Like what are you thinking?
I don't want to.
I don't know.
How much am I getting paid?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Because that's the big thing in Severance, where it's like that's their job. Like they go down, they don't know what they're doing, but like that they're getting paid like
You get paid in lifespan.
But does that apply to my spouse and child?
Oh, that's a good question. No, it's just
Then
you.
no.
That's
Nope.
fair.
Not interested.
Oh,
I
man.
don't want to live long enough to bury both my wife and child.
I mean, I don't because it's morbid. But then also, can I die with them and then be resurrected after they're dead? So that we all die as a family, but then I get to come back and like, I don't know. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I wouldn't want to do it either because like, what am I going to live extra for? What am I going to do with that extra time? You
Yeah.
know, I don't fucking care. I'm not gonna go back to school and learn something, right? I'm not gonna
Right.
read more books. So it's like, so
These are
ultimately,
my,
like the
this is a class. This is a classic bit where you come all the
like
way
yeah,
around.
going full circle. Like, why do I give a shit about it? Like, I don't. I'm just fucking let me die, dude. I'm not gonna
You
do anything
created.
extra with the time. Like, it's so stupid. Why would you want to be immortal in the first place? Because it's like dumb.
You came up with a hypothetical, and now you're mad at the
Yeah, fuck
hypothetical.
this hypothetical, dude. It's so stupid, man. God, get it out of here. Because it just seems,
Um,
yeah, it seems silly. And now that I think about it, like immortality in general is fucking stupid. Because it's like, why are you living long? Why are you living that long?
let's as of right now, Alexander Ovechkin has 889 goals. All right, he's 6 away.
Okay,
All right, so it's a little update counter as of this recording. Now
okay.
they play Minnesota tomorrow night, so they might have another one. I don't know. But let's rewind a month or so ago when we were talking about the Four Nations. Me specifically talking about how inept the NHL is at promoting itself and growing itself and taking advantage of situations.
Okay.
Here we are, and I posted it in the group chat, and it's like,
Is that what the 69 to, and actually it was like, I think the last count, 140 messages, or was that the last message you asked before the
no,
100?
this is no, that was earlier.
Okay.
This is the one I talked. This was like a couple minutes ago. It was just
Okay,
like
okay, got you.
you'd know if you looked, but it. Do you think that the average person, the casual sports guy or girl, knows that Ovechkin is 6 away
No,
from breaking Wayne Gretzky's
I didn't
all-time
know he
record?
was 6 away. But then again,
No. But you understand that he's on the chase.
yes, I understand he's on Chase,
I'm
but
not.
like,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about specifics, but like, more so? Do people even understand the gravity of like what he's doing?
No, I would argue the average
No.
person doesn't give a shit, nor like
Okay,
should they,
you say
arguably.
give a shit, but back you remember in the '90s when fucking Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa were trading home runs, and everyone and their fucking mother knew about it.
Yeah,
Right, that's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Even if you didn't give a shit, you still knew about it.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. I didn't. I don't mean. I
That's
didn't mean to
that's
like.
my
You know.
point.
I'm
No,
not
no,
saying
I know,
like.
no, I'm
Yeah.
saying,
I'm
but like
saying.
that's what I'm saying. It's not that I just think that the NHL has not, and maybe when he gets within like three,
But then you're
does
doing
it add
such a
it?
disservice because it's like.
But yeah, but I'm not again like their networks and it's 24-hour television, whatever. I just feel like so the NBA viewership is like at an all-time low right now. Like nobody's paying attention to the NBA. Like there's like year over year viewership is down. Like whatever. I have
Yeah.
gone on record multiple times that NHL is the best sport to watch. It is the best sport unequivocally, but it is somehow trapped in the worst league imaginable. It's the fourth most popular out of the big four in the United States, and it's for a reason because they don't fucking know how to market it.
Yeah.
And it's like Tim said, part of the problem is that there's no individuality. Everything is very team oriented. Hockey players sort of like keep to themselves. You know, there's like a whether you like the culture or not, you know, you could talk about that, but like there's just no we say that, but Ovi and Crosby both single like they saved the fucking league and they both had personalities, right?
Yeah.
You know, we've already talked about Wayne Gretzky's had the personality of a fucking dry bread. And so I think that there's not enough focus on the superstars. Also, it doesn't help that it wasn't on ESPN until like 3 years ago, you know, because you have TV media rights and TV markets and like you just pay money, you know, TNT and TBS paid like billions of dollars to have the NBA, you know, and all that. So that's why it became popular because you have to be able to see the fucking sport to get into the fucking
And
sport.
this thing is
Now,
like NHL is just now coming around to like where more than two of their games are on
right,
the different platforms. Like you can watch
right.
almost all of them on Hulu or
I,
like.
I do think that they are ahead of the curb on that sense because like each team has their own broadcast and if you have ESPN Plus, you can watch like fucking 70 of the 84 games, right?
Mhm.
Unless okay, so cool. I just think I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why because they were given like organically given a golden goose with the fucking Four Nations stuff and
Yeah.
the controversy, and 10 million fucking people watched that thing, and they did fuck all to
Yeah.
capitalize on it. No, I'm not like, what do? I mean, you play 82 games. It's not like football where football is, Saturday for college football, Sundays for NFL. So like it's designated where, hockey you're playing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like you've got
It's
three
almost like they
basically.
oversaturated the market with games because it's like you got
Yeah, but you got to play 82.
it's like Thursdays.
You
What are
play
the
every team
busy
at
days?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. No, Wednesday's the one.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday night rivalries. Like only thing going on there most of the time, right?
No, Wednesday night is when it's on TNT.
Okay. I mean,
So
I'm
they
talking
have
about like saturation of games, like as far as like
I don't
days
think
go.
it's saturated. I think it's spread out. I just again this is not a hockey podcast. This is just from like a layman's thing. You also deal with, you know, geography plays a lot of into it because in the South where we are, we have two fucking teams. We used to
Yeah.
have three. We used to have three. Now we have two. I mean, Nashville is 3 hours. Raleigh is 5.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta was 3, and in the next 10 years, you'll have another team in Atlanta. Okay, so the closest outside of those is St. Louis, is 6 hours. Or you go up north and you can hit DC, Philly, Pittsburgh, New York,
Yeah.
Boston. Like you have that cluster up there. You also have 7 teams in Canada, right? But you have a lot of, you have Winnipeg, Minnesota, you have Vancouver, Seattle, you have Anaheim, LA, you have these pockets where it's possible, but you have this giant gap where think about this from an NFL standpoint. Atlanta, 3 hours. Charlotte, 3 hours. Cincinnati, 4 hours. Nashville, 3 hours.
Just a lot of
Boom.
places to go and
That's
see it.
NFL teams,
Yeah.
right? I mean, baseball is kind of the same issue. You have Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah. And we got the Smokies, but they're not
No,
professional.
I'm
You know what I
talking.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking pro leagues.
Yeah. We got shit.
NBA, Atlanta, Charlotte. So, and like we're
Each
like right in
state
the
gets a hockey team. That's how they
no.
fix
That's
it.
that's. I personally think that 34 teams that they're going to move to is an oversaturation.
Nah, I say leave it. You know, I say
It's not.
I say
It's
give
not.
every state a team. That's not fair.
Nope.
Why doesn't every state get a team? You know,
Because the population can't handle it.
then we got 50 teams.
But
Everybody
the
can root
population
for
can't
their
handle it. You
team.
have Honolulu, Hawaii can't handle a hockey team.
Dude,
There's
they
like
would
no.
have
There's
a
like 6
cool
people
ass
that
team.
fucking live in Alaska, dude.
But they'd have the best because it's so cold up there and they can ice
It
skate all
doesn't
the
have
time.
anything. Weather has nothing to do with it. The fucking Florida Panthers just won the goddamn Stanley Cup, and it's 110 degrees.
Okay, you got to divide the country into fours, right? And then of
I
those
see what you're saying,
fours,
and you're being silly, but it's not possible.
I think you got to figure it out. You know?
No, it's not. There's a reason why. Again, that Houston's getting a team because it's the 4th largest media market. Media markets matter.
Are you saying that, just because they have lots of people watching TV, they get a team? That's silly.
Yeah, because they also have the population to support it.
I guess, man.
It's New York, LA, Chicago, and Houston.
I'll say it. I don't have a fix for it, but they need to work on it. They've got $1 billion. And they're like, whatever.
But I mean, you like hockey, and you've not fucking watched it this year either.
I've just been down on it, man. I just haven't got around to it. You know, I don't know what it is. It's just like my team's not even
Boston
there anymore.
sucks. You're fucking front runner.
Well, I mean, not just that. Like they don't. It's not Boston anymore. You know what I mean? They got Pasta. That's it. And he's
They're
probably
still the
gonna,
same
they're
team.
probably gonna trade him because he's fucking worth 20 trades. So, or something like that.
He can go play with Ovi next year.
That'd be cool. And honestly, it'd be super cool to see them together. Oh, we
I
got to
was
play with
daydream-
Chara, so that was cool.
I was daydreaming. I was like, man, in another universe, Pittsburgh would have traded Crosby to Washington this year,
Man,
and that would have been
how you gonna
That-
root for? How you gonna root for the Caps then? You know.
oh, because that's my fucking team. You think I'm not gonna root for the Caps when Ovi's gone?
But I mean, like, I'm talking about like you got Crosby on your team, dude. It's fucking disgusting.
I don't like Crosby because of who he played for.
He's gonna fucking cry all the time, dude. 'Cause he's a crybaby,
I mean,
big old crybaby.
you know,
Do you think
Tell
you
me
would,
about the-
Do you think you would cry if I don't know you were okay? Say you're at your job, just working along, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a toddler runs up and just bites you on your nuts, and then runs away. Like, what are you doing in that situation, man?
I'm gonna fucking punch the kid right in the
I-
face.
I don't see any other way. I don't see how you handle the situation any other way. You know?
You don't fucking Well, rule number
I
one,
just,
you don't. You were talking about consent earlier. You don't fucking touch people that don't want to be touched.
I mean, that's true, but this is a kid, right? This is, I'd assume, a very young kid, all right? I don't, okay, before I bury the lead, all right?
I keep hearing this fucking noise.
I don't hear it. Whatever you're
I know
hearing,
you don't, but I'm trying to. I don't know if it's my dog.
maybe it's a ghost hanging outside your house. One of these days, you're just gonna get the shit scared out of you. Like your wife's just gonna fucking run in there and fucking.
It is my fucking dog. It is my fucking dog.
This-
He's whimpering in his sleep.
Oh, poor baby. Go pet him. You know.
He's been doing this for like 20 minutes.
Is he in your office right now?
No, he's in the other room. He's laying on
Tell him
the
to
bed.
shut the fuck up.
He's sleeping. He's sleeping.
Okay, so this story, man. Let me bear the lead. Okay, so there was team.
Okay, so
This takes place in Germany. All right. So shouts out Frederick. Your country's crazy. And it's awesome. But this story not so much. All right. So anywho, they're having a little Germany style, like soccer match between some kids. Okay. And as part of a
friendly,
routine,
if you will.
I mean, it's a competition. It's a friendly little competition between kids. And as part of the pregame warm up, you got to go and check all the kids' IDs, make sure they're who they are. They say so you don't have like a 30-year-old Ronaldo.
That's an invasion of privacy. What the fuck you mean?
Well, it's to make sure that
You're
like,
still my information.
I mean, maybe, yeah, it's very possible. But these are like so you're making sure that Ronaldo's actually 12 and not a 30-year-old, soccer player for like some professional soccer team. So they're checking the IDs. And the guy says that he says, while I was checking IDs, a small child was doing warm-up exercises along the players. He came closer and closer to me, and then suddenly, to my complete surprise, because I would argue, yeah, it's pretty surprising, gave me a sharp bite on my left testicle. And I just, wow.
Okay, how skin tight these fucking pants you're wearing?
I mean,
How big are your fucking nuts?
I know that.
And the precision
Okay.
at which this kid.
That's the thing, man. There's
gobbling.
so many questions, and it's like, again, first of all,
Has he done it before?
I don't know if it doesn't say anything about the kid because obviously he's probably protected by some law that he can't be, over a certain age and have your information out there. But I don't know where they're training this kid at, like what they're training him. Like, wait, why? You know what I mean? Like, why is this something that this kid is doing?
How old's the kid?
I don't know. It doesn't say anything
Okay.
about the ages. I would assume.
Okay.
I would assume 5 or 6. That's my guess. It sounds like a 5 or 6
It's a
year
little
old.
old to be biting.
Yeah, it is. Let me see if this other website.
I have
has
a
anything on
biting
it.
story. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, go for it while I look up this.
While you wait,
information.
Okay, so my childhood, my whatever. The parenting was different back then than it is now. Some would argue it's better, some would argue it's worse. Some would argue that, there's a lot of trauma involved. Ooh, whatever. But my dad was a big proponent on fuck around, find out.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how old I was, but I would assume in the 2-3 age. Okay. And I know we lived in Northern Virginia at this point. And my dad, I only know this story because my dad has told it. And he thinks it's funny, and he's told it 1,000 times to a bunch of people or whatever. And it got brought up, when Zoe was little. But apparently, one day, my dad was taking a shower.
Okay.
All right. And he got out of the shower.
All right.
And he's drying himself off. And I, little baby me, decided to run in there, and I bit him right on the fucking ass cheek.
That's shit, dude.
Just like whatever. Like
How old are you?
again, 2 or 3.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a 2 or 3 year. I mean, yeah.
So do you know what he did?
Did he bite you on your ass cheek?
He fucking did the same thing to me and said I screamed and wailed like murder. But
I mean,
but his retort is, guess what you never did again.
yeah.
You never bit anybody again.
I'm assuming that same thing happened to him as a kid, and it's exactly what his grandfather did, and he said the same thing to him, and it's like,
But I mean, listen, I will be playing around with Walter and he'll fucking bite the shit out of me.
yeah,
And it hurts. And you know what I do? I fucking bite him right back.
yeah, but he's a dog, and that's like what dogs do is they bite each
I
other.
know.
It's like,
I
oh,
know.
okay, I don't bite him, whatnot. You're a child.
Now,
You
no,
know?
I don't think Zoe never really had a problem with biting. She had a problem with like licking. But like I never did that. Even if Zoe would have like bit me, I would have. She poked me in the fucking nose one time, made my nose bleed.
Hell yeah.
Fucking, I think I talked about it on
Yeah,
the
I think you did
podcast.
too. Yeah.
She fucking whoosh, just like straight,
Yeah, I remember that exactly. Yeah.
and like went to my damn like
It's
eyeball
like
and like
scratching your fucking brain, dude. She's like,
yeah, and like pulled the blood out and everything. I still have a picture of it on my
okay.
phone.
So, anyways, all right, back to their actual story on hand. Sunday, it was between FC Taxi Duisburg the second and SV Rotweiss Mulheim. That's the team names.
That's a mouthful, man.
They don't say anything about the ages of the kids, but
Okay.
he got bit on the testicle. It was so bad, the pain was so immense that they had to cancel the match because apparently he was the only referee. They had to like call him off or whatnot. And I just can't imagine in what scenario this kid thought that this was gonna be funny. Like, what was he doing? Like, somebody get your rabid kid. He needs some kind of behavioral like therapy.
Pretty sure.
And it's like, and again, like you said, like how tight are this guy's pants? Like his nutsack, is it like, it must be huge if like that's like his big target. I would argue that the kid was probably just trying to bite, and he wasn't biting in any particular like, for any particular region.
I think you're
I think that he was probably at
not giving
nut.
the kid enough credit.
I imagine he was at nut height, and so he was just like, you
Yeah.
know. But again,
I don't know, dude. Kids are goblins, man. They know.
I imagine that it's so painful. I don't react negatively towards the kid so much as I just scream at him, like, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? What the fuck?" Like, and just like kind of like shrug the kid off. I'm not a violent person though. If like something like happens,
I'm
I just
not a
get
violent
mad.
person, but my instant reaction is to fucking smack.
Yeah, and it's like, did he hold on? You know what I mean? Like, is he like a piranha or whatever, or is it just like a dog? They nipped him really quick and then ran away. You know what I mean? I don't know, but no word on if he's going to return to the pitch or not. So
Yeah.
I guess wear a cup. Always.
I saw this video, and it made me uncomfortable.
Okay.
All right. We live in this. You remember the fucking girl that was on the plane, and she was like, "The motherfucker's not real." Remember that shit?
Oh shit, dude, yeah. And then she ended up being like a plant, and like, and no, I don't know.
Was she a plant, or
I
was
don't-
it just like? I don't think it was a plant. She said
It was very
like,
much
she
so.
said it was drug
Hawk
induced.
to a situation in which,
Whatever happened to that bitch? She fucking had disappeared after that crypto fail.
hey, it's almost like you grifters. She wasn't. That's the thing, man. She wasn't a grifter. She got grifted.
Dude, stop defending this shit.
She got grifted,
a bad
and
person.
she just didn't know who her friends were, and she like rode the fame too hard. The same thing with this other chick. She rode the
Would
fame
you
too
say that
hard.
if it was a dude?
Probably not, because I don't fucking know who it is. If it's a dude,
Right, but why are you giving the pass for a fucking girl that you're not going to give the
because
same
the
pass?
situation hasn't happened to a dude yet. Give me a dude.
It happens all the time. Equality, Jacob.
I mean, it happens all the time. To give me a dude.
Hold motherfuckers accountable,
give me
regardless of sex.
Give me the male equivalent of Hawktua.
I don't know.
Exactly.
All of them. All the fucking crypto bros. They all do it.
No, I'm not talking about. No, the crypto bros are already pieces of shit. I'm talking about somebody who started off as just genuine. I got it. Fucking Mason, the little Mason spinny cowboy kid. Remember? He was really big on TikTok where he's like,
Oh, yeah.
fucking. I don't see him fucking. If he was to get grifted by some crypto schemer, I'd be saying the same thing about him. Like, hey, he's just a kid.
Are you saying that he's smart enough not to fall for that shit?
He hasn't. I don't see a Mason crypto. I don't know if his name is Mason or not, but I don't see
Whatever.
a cowboy kid.
The whole point
cryptocurrency.
is,
So
I saw this video.
Okay.
This was in Dallas, and this fucking lady was fucking completely naked,
that's never good when you're being filmed naked on camera without your consent.
and she's fucking lost her mind,
Yeah, again,
and like
not a great time to be filmed naked.
throwing shit. She's like goes up, she like pulls something out of the bar, and it's like, this lady needs help.
Yeah,
This lady needs help. And again, let's go back to the very beginning. Minding your own fucking business. What the fuck are you supposed to do?
she's having a mental breakdown. Either help
What the
her
fuck
or
are you supposed to
just-
do, Jacob?
I would
Let's say
argue
you're there.
call the authorities.
But Jacob, they were there. They were fucking watching her.
Okay, then I get if they. Okay, that's the thing, man.
But-
That's
but-
the thing. If the authorities are there and they're watching it unfold, I say walk away. I say you don't have anything everything that you could have done or can do.
Yes, but like they're not doing anything.
But then
this
again,
lady needs so much fucking help. Like
yeah.
she's clearly like she's mixed some sort of like Xanax and fucking alcohol or
And
some
there's a
shit,
huge
cocktail.
conversation to be had about like, why that whole argument that was made a long time ago, like we were talking about defunding the police and actually having like social workers and stuff like that, people who are trained to handle these situations on staff. There's a whole conversation we can have about that and how they should be the people they are trying to help the
But
situation.
the thing is like if you watch it, like these are security guards. They're not police officers. They're security guards. So
Okay,
it's
well
like
then I would call the
they
cops
try,
and have the
so
cops
they
go.
try to get well. I mean, they try to get close to her, and then like she's just like screaming as if she's being assaulted. So then then you have to deal with that sort of situation.
Then I think in this situation,
But you can't let this fucking girl, this woman. She's an adult woman, by the way.
I would say record everything as far as like for legal purposes, right? To make sure that they can,
Which
for legal
everyone was doing because you can see multiple people recording her in this video.
I would say record for legal purposes. But then as long
Tase
as
the
she's
shit out of her.
as long as she is not harming anybody else, because property, she could pay for that shit, or insurance could pay for that shit, or whatever. It doesn't matter if she fucking destroys and set. I mean, I guess it don't light the building on fire because that would hurt other people. But I'm saying if
She's
nobody
in
else,
the fucking terminal, dude.
okay, but if nobody else,
And then at the end of it, she fucking leaves and she's trying to go through the security gate.
I would argue.
She's lost her fucking mind. You do not defend this behavior. Don't.
The thing I am defending.
I'm not gonna let you do
The
it.
thing I am defending is that if she's having a mental break, obviously there's something going on.
She's clearly
Having a mental break, right? So I think that she needs help. First and foremost, she needs help. I would say
sometimes you have to.
In this
force that help.
situation, let her tire herself out. She's not hurting anybody.
Dude, when was the last time you were on a meth-induced bender or a speed bender,
Hey,
bro?
that's the
Like
thing.
you can
I've
go
never
for
done that.
hours.
Okay, that's the thing, man. Hey,
But you can't do that.
You know-
You're endangering society at that point.
if it's a wildfire, right? You don't fucking say, "Hey, let's fight this fire 24/7." You gotta like, wait, no, let's fire Tucker itself
Yes,
out.
because wildfire is the same as someone who's lost their fucking mind in an airport.
But if there's
I'm
clearly
saying
nothing
you
that
fucking tase the shit out of her, and then you gather her, throw a jacket on her, and get her the fuck out of there, dude.
I mean, then again, like, there's tasing is a whole thing. Like, what if she has medical conditions? You end up killing her on accident, you know?
Dude,
Because like you don't
okay,
have
but
no idea how she got in that situation in the first place. She could have just had a mental break.
you can't just let her fucking free roam the goddamn airport.
I say you
completely
keep it
naked.
contained, right? Don't let her
Dude,
leave.
they couldn't get near. They couldn't get near her,
Okay,
dude.
well, she was clearly staying away from them. So it's like you just like a chicken. You kind of like circle
You would
around
be
her.
a terrible police officer.
I would just say
You would be
don't
the
have to
worst security
resort-
guard on earth.
I don't think we need to resort to violence.
Just let anybody do anything they wanted
No,
to.
no,
I guarantee you. I've caught you in your hypocrisy. If that was a dude, you would not give that dude the same fucking benefit.
I would, in fact, as long as they
No,
are.
you fucking
Because
would
I made it very clear, as long as they are not harming somebody, I don't give a shit about property damage. I don't give a shit that they got shit to pay for that. I don't care at all.
It's not. I'm
As
not.
long as they are
I've
not-
not once said anything about property damage.
As
You are
long as they-
endangering people. People are in danger.
Then I would argue, if she's hurting people, yeah, take her down. Take her down.
She's
Tackle
not
her,
at
do
that
what you gotta
point. She
do.
had not physically touched anyone.
Okay, then she's good. Let her do her own thing. Or fucking let her have her mental
She is
break.
a disturbance, and she is a danger to society at that point.
Okay, but is she harming
I'm not
anybody?
saying. I'm
Does
not
she have a
saying
gun?
shoot her,
Is she
she's naked.
stabbing people? You know,
but
she is not a danger
are you
to
supposed to
society
wait for
outside
her?
of,
Are you
like-
supposed to wait for her to do that? Or are you supposed to take care of the fucking situation before it gets there?
You circle around her again. You let her tire herself out. You just don't have to cause her harm. Fucking let her, like, ask her if she needs help. Like, what you need, ma'am? What can I do for
I
you?
just think that you would be a terrible security guard.
I just think that we don't need to jump to violence as soon as we see somebody having a mental break.
What's
Obviously,
violent? What's
right?
violent? What's violent?
Tasing her to death,
That's not violence.
tackling her, right? How is that not violence? You're literally shocking her to the point where like
To
she's
get her to quit so you can fucking get her out of there. This woman
mean-
needs help.
yeah. But if she's not going to accept the help, tasing her is not going to make her accept it. You know,
Some,
I'm just saying.
sometimes dude,
I just think that we don't know the
there
situation.
are
in
people
which-
that can't help themselves and they
No.
need someone else to help them.
Now, if she had like done this, if she had gotten belligerent,
No one's gonna
drunk
willingly
on the
say, "Hey,
plane-
tase me, bro."
yeah. But I also think as long as she's not harming anybody, there's no reason to tase her.
She's harming everyone around her. She is a danger.
She hasn't hit anybody yet.
Do you think that only physical harm is harm?
Yeah. I would argue.
Mental anguish.
But then again, yeah, but she's not. Again, she's not doing it to anybody. She's literally just having a mental breakdown, and it's like people are like, I'm feeling physically hurt by this because
If this was you in that situation, would you not want someone to fucking help you?
depends. I don't
Help
know.
you.
I honestly don't know.
This other lady's so fucking far out of her mind. She doesn't know. She doesn't know up from down.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that yeah, you need to like handle the situation better for sure. But I don't know if you have to tase her. You know,
What's wrong with tasing?
I don't think
You're not fucking shooting anybody.
tasing isn't safe. You know,
Says who?
the millions of people the year that die from being tased.
No one's ever died from being tased.
I think that's false because I'm pretty sure there was an old lady that was tased and she fucking died. Died.
She probably had a bad heart.
Yeah, but like, why are you tasing an old lady, dude? You're the guy. You're the guy tasing an old fucking lady right over here. This guy's over here.
I don't like old people.
An old lady's just upset because she fucking, I don't know. Somebody of a different race told her to have a nice day and she didn't like it and she's fucking having a mental
Then she should be
breakdown.
tased.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Arguably, she should be tased. But like, you'd be the one tasing her and it's like, she's an old lady. Just fucking pick her up, throw her over your shoulder and put her in the back of a police car. I don't know.
Then that's assault. And then you
But tasing her's fine. Sure, we could shock
didn't
the
touch-
lady to death, but like, by all means, we don't touch her. We touch her.
Do you think
This shit,
that a taser is like a deneuralizer and you're gonna fucking vaporize somebody?
Maybe, you don't know. What do you get that voltage turned up to, dude? Also, nobody ever talks about the barbs being stuck in you because that fucking hurts. I could imagine. Right?
I'm sure, yeah, but it's no different than like like a thorn bush.
I mean, it goes into your skin. I would feel like it's very much so worse than a thorn buzz.
I've never been tased.
I've never been tasted. I don't taste me, actually. Don't taste me, bro. Please. I don't know what that's from, but don't do it.
I've never been in that situation in which I needed to be tased.
I love that. There's that video that I saw a long time ago where it's like this very big,
Don't tase me, bro.
very big gentleman, and he like 2 or 3 cops tase him at the same time, and he's just standing there, and he just looks at the person and is like, I'm gonna fucking find you, and then he falls over, and it's like that's the scariest person on the planet, dude. Like I don't know what drugs he was on, or if like he was just like that badass, scary guy. But
Anyways, next week, all right, maybe I'll be over this cold by then. Next week, kind of monumental.
No, it's
Episode
not.
300.
It's just another day in the office, buddy.
Okay, fine. I will do my victory lap. You can just sit there.
I'm gonna come in and look at just like this.
Yeah. Go back and listen to like episode 3 and tell me how much more comfortable you are now.
I mean, I'm pretty comfortable. That's for sure. Yeah.
Now, yeah.
Hell yeah.
When you're not trying to do something and trying to be funny, and you just let your natural funny happen,
Dude,
which is
I'm
not
funny
often
all the
you're
time, dude.
because you're not a funny person. So
I'm fucking funny all the time.